Hello and welcome to day 63 of 100 days, 100 videos, 200 questions. It is freezing here. As you can see, I'm wearing the same outfit I was wearing yesterday, aka the same outfit I was wearing last night because I haven't changed. And I also added this because it's cold, but I don't have my space heater on, so this is doing its job. I wanted to highlight my shirt, which I didn't highlight yesterday because I forgot about it, which says Flacco Round and Find Out, which I got for myself as a trophy of sorts for winning the fantasy football championship in our league. And what I really wanted to do when I joined this fantasy football league, understanding that I fully had no business being there, I don't watch really any football games. At one point I used to watch college games. I don't even do that anymore. I don't really watch football games at all. And so I joined because it looked like fun. It looked like a puzzle. And also I wanted to see if I could win based on research alone versus actual knowledge of the games and players. And it did not start out great. Last season, I think I came in 9th place, which is not good out of 12. It's not, I could have done worse. And in the beginning of this season, I wasn't doing well either. And I realized I hadn't cracked it. And I thought, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you really do need to know these players. And that's the problem. But about halfway through the season, I finally realized something I should be doing that I wasn't doing, which was utilizing the waiver wire effectively. And so I would keep like the same kicker, the same defense that I had, and just use them every single week. I didn't do too much on like looking at what the other players were doing that weren't in my league, like injuries. So really I said, I'm going to see if I can win this on research. And then I wasn't freaking doing the research. So I think it all changed when I was researching and it said pick up A-Chain. And I was like, all right, I'll see what this can do. Picked him up, got crap from some other people in the league that wanted him, and just, it all turned around from there. Then I started really juggling kickers, and not so much kickers actually, more defense, but a little bit of kickers, and pulling people from the woodwork on the waiver wire. And that's when I was able to really turn it around and go from like consistently being one game out of the playoffs to winning the whole thing. So, and by one game out of the playoffs, I meant if I had lost, of my last 6 games in the regular season, if I had lost any of them, I would have been out of the playoffs. And I won them all, and then won all my playoff games. So it turned out great for me. I also think I went into the playoffs because our team was so even, our league was so even. I went into the playoffs, I ended up going to the playoffs for my run in the 2nd seed and got a bye. And I feel like winning the 2nd seed against, especially considering I beat someone who has won the league multiple times, I felt really good. And I also am the first person from my neighborhood, because there are 5 of us that all lived in the same neighborhood. 2 of them have since moved, but like the neighborhood gang that's in the league, and I'm the newest member of the league, I'm the first one to win the championship of all of us. And some of them have been doing it since 2015. So I felt pretty good about that. But now I'm like, do I play next year or do I just go on top? I don't know. All right, it's been a while since we haven't even gotten a question yet. Okay, let's go to our first question of the day. I just really wanted to get into the vibe of talking today, so I wasn't going to rush the question. Let's see, what do we have? What's a common misconception people have about you? Here's the thing. I think people are allowed to have whatever perceptions they want of me. Whether I agree with them or not is not my business, right? Like, you can choose to concentrate on what you can control or try to concentrate on what you cannot. And I don't like to spend my time or my energy concentrating on things that I cannot control. And other people's perceptions of me is one of those things. I get to decide who I like and who I want to spend time with and live my life accordingly. And if they agree, then we'll have a beautiful friendship. And if they don't, either they will just suffer through my presence or they will try to avoid me. And either one is cool. I'm not of the mind where I expect everyone to like me. I expect a lot of people not to like me. There are billions of people in the world. I'm not going to please all of them with my existence. So that's fine. But if we were going to say a common misconception, it would be that I'm cold. Especially in person. I take a while to warm up, and I have a really big fear of being wrong, which is something that I'm constantly working on and being more comfortable with being wrong. But because of those two things, I'm a little bit standoffish to begin with. I don't want to like get too invested in the conversation because then I get in my head about what if I'm wrong about something I say. And so it ends up limiting the things that I will say and makes me very quiet and very cold. And I don't have a lot of like outward emotions. I'm not big on crying. I'm not really big on yelling. I'm not big on getting in people's faces. I don't mind confrontation, but it's calculated. And so I think that is the most common perception of me that I don't agree with. Whether it's a misperception or not, that's not for me to decide. All right, let's find out what is on ChatGPT today. Maybe, except for my keyboard is not on. All right, so let's find a question here. Okay, here we go. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received that you'd like to pass on to others, and how has it influenced your life decisions? I don't know the best piece of advice that I've ever received in my entire life because I think you change as you grow. And the same advice that was so mind-blowing in 6th grade does not necessarily translate to 37. So I'm going to go with the best piece of advice that I received this past weekend on the secret retreat I was on. And that was that if you consider something, and I'm going to botch the words. There was a really cool way that she put it, but I'm going to botch it, just so you know. If you consider something unattainable, it continues to be unattainable. If you consider something to be out of reach, it continues to be out of reach. So with your goals, you need to come at them with the expectation that they are possible, that they are not only possible, that they are inevitable. And that gets a little bit into the woo-woo, but it's true. You need to start doing things as is. And I think this is a better way for me to analyze that concept of living as if than just somebody saying like, live like you're already the person who makes $1 million a month. Live like you're the person who has found the love of their life when you haven't or when you don't. But moving your way towards things feeling attainable or reachable, I think is an easier pill to swallow for me. And so it's a different way of saying live as if that worked for me. And so I take it a lot in social situations. I live as if I'm already really good friends with somebody that I want to meet. And I talk to them like they're already a really good friend of mine, the way I would talk to my close friends currently. And then it facilitates that bond. Or they block me. I don't know. That hasn't happened yet, but it would be fine if it did. Get to the point where you understand where you're not wasting your time, right? If I'm wasting my time being a true friend to someone and they don't receive that, which is their right, then I want them to shut me down. So I stop wasting my time on something that is never going to be reciprocated, right? All right. I feel like that is a good place to end. Day 63 of 100 days, 100 videos, 200 questions. Thank you, as always, for being here and supporting the channel. And I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.